Hey world, it's Ben. We'll come back with another video. Family, I want to come back with this video here because I did a video maybe a week or two ago about, the third leading cause of death in America is actual hospital and medical errors and medical malpractice from people going to the hospital and dying, right? Only reason I want to drop this one here is to make sure that I reiterate that family, over 254,000 people die a year from hospital stay, medical malpractice, medical errors, right? And what's the number one cause? The number one cause is infection. Now, this is a location that's supposed to be the most sterile location there is. You go into the hospital for medical treatment, okay, for either something that was traumatic or something that was medical, right? But nevertheless, you go into a sterile environment. Now, when most of the deaths, and I think like it was over 118,000 patients on Medicare that die from hospital stay, from normal infections. Now, think about that. How is it that you're being infected in a sterile environment doing surgery? If you look at the title, family, I said don't forget about Bushwick, about Bernie Mac, about Tommy from Martin, all right? And we don't know how many others have died from going to the hospital for, and like I say, if you guys didn't know, Tommy from Martin, he went to the hospital for a knee surgery and died, okay? And if you want to think back to Joan Rivers went to the hospital. Actually, she went to her plastic surgeon to get some plastic surgery done. She dies. And it's like we minimize it like it doesn't mean anything, but these people are dying in the care of medical professionals. People that tell you or recommend to you to take this medication, to take this surgery, to take this test. Okay? Now, isn't it ironic that when you do that, you feel worse? And I'm gonna tell you right now, the most important one that I feel like for years that we've kind of turned a blind eye to is chemotherapy. And see, they say chemotherapy because that really takes off the stigma of what it really stands for. It's chemical therapy, chemical. And so they're telling you that anything that they put in your body to heal your body is actually not only killing the quote unquote disease, but it's also killing healthy cells. Why do you think when somebody gets chemotherapy, they get even more sick? A lot of diarrhea, a lot of nausea, vomiting. Okay, they lose their hair. All right. Now, when and where have there ever been a medication, invented that do that to you? Okay. So when you talk about going to the hospital, and we're talking about getting, your yearly checkups. These doctors are in the business to make money. Of course they want you to come every 6 months. Of course they want to know your family history. Okay? And you go in there and tell them, I have, my mom and dad have high blood pressure. My mom and dad had diabetes. My mom and dad had PTSD or whatever. But guess what? Well, they're going to tell you that you're more inclined to get it. So let's take some preventative methods and start getting you on this medication. What? All right? And so it's not an accident that the third leading cause of death is medical visits to the hospital. You go into the hospital for treatment and you end up dying. And like I said, a lot of people didn't know Tommy from Martin, he died from going to the hospital for knee surgery. Bushwick Bill, he went to the hospital because he was having some complications. He go to the hospital, and then, of course, he get an infection in his blood. And then shortly after that, he dies. Bernie Mac, yeah, he's sick, but God, we seen him on TV a week before. He go to the hospital and dies? That's not how it's supposed to go. All right? And so, like I say, it's important that you take control of your health. Just like you take control of your wealth, you need to take control of your health. All right? Don't depend on other people telling you what's good for you. Come on, man. Think how many people drink sodas. Okay? and it's carbonated water. They tell you it's carbonated water. Pop the top, and you're gonna hear the fizzle. You're gonna feel the fizzle. You're gonna taste the fizzle. Let it sit there for an hour and come back and drink it. You're not gonna want to drink it because it's sugar water. You think it's accident? Diabetes is one of the highest causes of death. Think about it. Coca-Cola, Sprite, those are all sugar water, carbonated water. It's not an accident that you sit there for a little while and you can't drink it. It's not an accident that when you drink milk, you put milk there for a minute at room temperature. You can't drink it. Okay? So take control of your own health, just like you take control of your own wealth. I always advocate you pay yourself first. Pay yourself first because you can gain wealth. Okay? Take care of your own health. Okay? And then you can gain longevity. But the longevity is going to be a good lifestyle. Okay? You don't want your standard of living to be, compromised because of health problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. Right? And remember, when that happens, who do you go to? You go to the doctor. And what does doctors do? They treat conditions. They don't heal them. Okay? There's over 35 million hospitals in the hospital district. 35 million. And we have over 240,000 people die every year. All right, family? So a lot of times, you got to come back with this type of information. And like I say, even on the political aspect of this, the politicians don't say anything about this. And I know I had some subscribers, some family members rather, ask me about my apprehension about these rappers becoming politicians. Like I say, I'm not saying these cats can't reinvent themselves, but when they were at their highest level of popularity, you would think that's when they was want to make a difference. Because when we checked back then, they were supposed to be making millions of dollars. And the popularity, even if they weren't millionaires back then, but the popularity they had back then would allow them the platform to run for office and to be politically inclined. I'm not saying it, but you know what? When you know these cats like I know them, and what I mean by that, I don't know them, just like you don't know them. Okay? So, do you, but understand that if you're voting for people, I think the best way you're going to actually make a difference is to vote for individuals on the local level, on the city council level, on the county judge level, on the level that's going to actually affect you every day. You voting for president, that don't affect you every day. Vote for Congress, that don't affect you every day. Because why? Congress goes to Washington, D.C. You don't see these cats unless it's a major story happening in the city. Okay? So believe me, family, don't get it twisted. I do not begrudge anyone that has faith in the political process. I just been pretty knowledgeable for years about the political process and haven't seen enough tangible evidence of change. And so I put more credence, or I put more emphasis on people like Mr. Smith, who, what did he do? He paid all of the Morehouse 2019 graduates student loans off. To me, that's tangible. That's going to make a difference in these children, in these young people's lives. Okay? Because when you have, over half of the country dealing with student loan debt, and you have one individual, an Afro-melanated individual, a billionaire who did it for being focused and actually improving his financial literacy to invest in tech companies to become a billionaire. And what did he do? He came back to the community and actually paid off every one of the graduate student loans. To me, that's tangible evidence of change. Running for city council, okay, I can dig it. Okay, and let me digress by saying the city councilmen in H-Town right now, I'm gonna give them props. Okay, because remember, I used to be a firefighter. And as a firefighter, it's important that you get that incentive, you get that, those pay raises, because those are dangerous jobs. When you dial 911 and you have a medical emergency or a traumatic emergency, you're not calling the cops. You're calling the fire department, who's going to send paramedics and EMTs there. When your house burned down, when it's a fire, you're not calling the cops. You're calling the fire department. Okay, so for Sylvester Turner, the mayor, to come up with some Proposition B to, limit the number of firefighters being hired, as well as laying off 400 to 500 firefighters, the city councilman stepped in today. A matter of fact, this is new news. And that's why I want to drop this video. And like I say, I don't begrudge anybody running for city council or running for politics, okay? But it's your energy and what is it that you're going to actually do tangible. Firefighters that were supposed to be laid off now are not going to be laid off, all right? And so now, to me, the city council voted on that. Okay, we have guys that's running for city council in H-Town. I hope if they get voted in, they make a change. But it just seems kind of strange that when you're at your highest popularity and at your highest level of financial security, you don't do anything then. You want to wait till you become a politician, okay? But like I said, we're going to see how it go, all right? Like I said, much love go out to Bushwick Bill. Much love to Bernie and Mac. Much love to Tommy from Martin. You know, they went into the hospitals and didn't come out. Family, take care of your health, okay? Take care of your wealth, all right? Guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Make sure you bring your family members to the garden. And in the meantime, between time, may the Most High Saudi bring you joy. And being with us out of 5,000.